Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the North East Non-League Show, episode 17, Northern League special, with new Crook Town manager Mattie Thompson. Mattie, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
No, thank you very much for having us. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Excellent. And I must say, obviously, everyone that's watching, thank you so much for watching already. I hope you've had a great New Year and a great Christmas as well. I know it's our first show in 2023, so thank you for coming back to watch the channel as well. Lots of new subscribers today, so absolutely over the moon with the support as always, but lots to go over today. Obviously, the show is sponsored by our original sponsors, Baywatch TV, Sunderland West End, Durham City AFC, Jade Bell, and of course, proud to support If You Care Share Foundation. But Mattie, lots to chat about. But I think before we get into Crook, we've got to kind of talk about your job that you did at Brandon, because you can't just pace past that, because what a job that you did there. The club itself obviously went through a tough decade, as just been mentioned, about lower table finishes in Division 2. Which was always a shame, because I always see Brandon as a cracking little club. I mean, what was your thoughts when you first joined that club at that point?
So when we first took over at Brandon, they were actually rock bottom. But obviously the place itself and the history that it's got as a club, obviously we wanted to take the club back to where it belongs as such. We knew it was a hard task. But I was there 2.5 years. In the first 2 years, to be fair, we got lucky with COVID, with the season ending early, and obviously managed to get them out of the relegation zone. And it was a case of just building on that, to be fair. Obviously, the contacts that we had, we got in and tried to turn the corner, which we certainly have done this season.
Yeah, fantastic. I see the improvement just on and off the pitch as well, like the youth teams coming back to watch and just getting all the sponsors that's coming out. I love that when you were doing the after game pictures of the man of the match, the players, man of the match, whatever like that. It was just a real good feel at the club. But it must have been proud to see that happening again and be a part of that the club at the point.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, when we first went in, the attendances were like 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
You know, a place like Brandon, if you can get the local community on side, there's no reason why you can't double the numbers there. Now, it is hard, but the main thing for me was like engaging with the juniors, trying to get the junior setup involved, whether that was coming up and be ball boys, mascots, and showing them actually there's an exit route there in Brandon for them, so they don't have to go out of the community to play. And as I say, we invited them along each game, and it certainly helps when you're winning games of football like we were this season.
Yeah.
But as I say, the stones that we took, we stepped on throughout the last 2.5 years. We've gone from like a relegation team that's always down the bottom, not knowing when your next win's coming from. To be fair, we put 10 wins in a row though this season, and we're at the right side of the table, aren't we? The right end of the table. So it was exciting times, and as I say, hopefully, I know I'm not there anymore, but fingers crossed they can see it through.
Yeah, hopefully do. Because I mean, looking at the season already, I mean, sitting eight points off second place, just been talking about how close the second division is. But wins against the likes of Horden, Bentley in the league, playing the Vars for his game as well. And then obviously the 5-4 game against Bishop Auckland in the Challenge Cup. The work that you've put in, obviously the players and the people like has been helping the staff, and obviously the people that's like cutting the grass, little things like that, the kit men. Everyone must have been so proud of the season, how it was going so far as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just gives everyone an extra spring in the step, doesn't it? When you're winning games of football, it means you're doing something right. Off the pitch, as I say, they've got a hard-working committee, although there's not many of them. It's like it's the same people doing the same jobs, and they do more than one job, and at times it does get frustrating. But at least this season, obviously, they had some success on the pitch, which makes it worthwhile, to be fair.
Yeah, I remember I caught up with a few of them at the Sunderland West End game, and like you say, they were just wanting to chat about football. They're absolutely brilliant to talk to, and that's obviously when we caught up with yourself after the 4-0 away win at Sunderland West End. But even just that day, because I know I was on the pitch just before the game speaking to the Sunderland West End manager, and you could just see from the first time I've kind of seen you, the warm up, it was 100 mile an hour where you looked at Sunderland West End on the day, and it was just lads with heads down. It was so slow. And straight away, I mean, I said to Park, I said, could be 3 or 4-0 this one, because you could just see the tempo as well. But obviously you see the improvements, the wins, the unbeaten run as well. But even though you were still quite high in the table, I can respect from kind of your coach and how you expect your players, you wanted that extra bit more as well though still.
Yeah, as I say, we always set standards, don't we? And we need to hit them, and we always aim for more. I think the frustrating thing for me this season was obviously we started so well, and then to be told a few weeks ago that actually the club itself wasn't interested in promotion, that was kind of, it was a kick kicking between the legs as such, because we put so much hard work in.
Yeah.
But as I say, I understand the reasons that were given for that, because obviously the crowds, yeah, they have increased, but can you sustain the club going up to the next level? The players are certainly good enough. The togetherness that we had and the volunteers that we've got, but can you sustain that going a division above? But as I say, we always strive for more. We're competitive. We wanted to win every game of football that we played. Even in the Bishop Auckland game, the cup game, we wanted to win that game, as you see, and it was 5-4 in the end. But after, as I say, we went 1-0 up, I think, and then 2-1 down, and we managed to turn it back around. And then last 10 minutes, as I say, their quality showed through, as well as their fitness levels. But we're always competitive. And to be fair, the boys have been absolutely outstanding this season.
No, it's been really good. I like to say, when a club comes out and say they don't want to take the promotion, sometimes as a manager, and I respect a lot of the players, will be kind of thinking, well, why are we actually still playing the season 4? You've got to have that next level to aim for now, especially the pyramid system that we've got now, isn't it? It's just hard not to kind of just play a season just for almost nothing, isn't it?
No, you're exactly right. As I say, you play football to be the best you can, don't you? Obviously, it's disappointing when external factors come into play. But you have to understand what you are and what stage of the club you are. And I respect them for that. I would prefer them to tell me now, which they did, than leave it till 4 or 5 games and say, well, actually, we're in and around it. We don't think we can go up. And obviously have to pull away slightly. But as I say, my time at Brandon, it's been a learning curve. I've gone around it the hard way, in the fact that, as I say, when we went in, there were relegation candidates year in, year out. They were finishing bottom 3. And actually, we've earned quite a lot of respect, I think, Brandon, the club itself this year. The way we played, the standards we set on and off the field, and how competitive we were. And as I say, winning games of football makes that happen.
Excellent. No, definitely. Just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's watching, lots watching already. So I really appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe as well. But a busy December on social media. I remember, obviously, the 19th of December, Crook part way with your management team. The 20th of December, Brandon, I'll let you leave yourself. I would imagine, I would say at least, kind of high percentage, 99% would kind of put 2 and 2 together to say, I think it was straight away on a lot of social media. I think this is going to happen. I think this is going to happen. Did you kind of know at that point yourself that you were going to Crook at that point?
Yeah, as I said, it was a very quick turnaround. It was very quick indeed. Obviously, I haven't had much of a Christmas, as you can imagine. We had 3 weeks to, but the timing was right. The timing was right, I think, on both parties. For myself, at Brandon, which obviously gave them the opportunity to replace me, as well as to give me a chance to put my stamp on Crook before the first game of football against Bishop Auckland.
Yeah. Definitely. And like you say, I've seen you kind of first time with your coach, and kind of when you're watching the hunger, the passion. I knew straight away with you leaving Brandon, the Crook job was available, that you want to take that next step. Like I say, it's a high division, possibly a little bit bigger budget as well, but you just want to progress. Is that the main factor for yourself? Obviously, stepping up that division and challenging yourself against some quality teams in the league now, isn't there?
No, definitely is. As I say, it's a natural progression for myself. Obviously, I've worked hard for it. I've kept the team up, as well as obviously challenged up there as well. When we were at Taulo, we were challenging for promotion in Division 2. Obviously, I've managed to keep Brandon in the league and then turn them into a challenging team at the right end of the table. And we're looking forward to the challenge at Crook. As I say, they're currently sitting 16th in the league. And, a change, in my opinion, had to be made. The fact that they're sitting 16th and they're conceding 2.5 goals a game. Now, obviously, the timing's perfect for them, and the fact that we can get our stamp on things and get the players that are going to, A, keep them up, and then, B, how far can we finish up the league table for the rest of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of comments when we're seeing obviously the change in the management, one leave and Brandon announcement as well, was it you found a lot of comments for saying the worst kept secret in football? I would imagine that 2 days your form must have been absolutely non-stop, was it?
Well, of course, people obviously they hear things, but yeah, as I say, it was a quick turnaround. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, on the 20th of December, yourself and Anthony announced as management. But since then, Paul Gardner, Reece Brown and Thomas Lisby all joined from Brandon as well. I mean, I can imagine, as you mentioned before, you've kind of never had a Christmas. I would imagine you're kind of getting players who you might want to possibly bring in, players possibly out on the way out, and just getting training plans as well and getting your shape and everything ready over the Christmas. What's it been like over the Christmas period? Have you been in training as well?
It's been manic, yeah. As I say, we had a meeting with the current players, and we had 16 lads turn up, which was absolutely outstanding. As I say, them putting faith in us by turning up to the meeting. It was give us a chance to address, obviously, them, see what we've got, the plans going forwards, how we're going to take firstly stop them getting relegated as such and turn the corner, and seeing what the plan was going forwards, how we're going to progress them up the league table. We then, with them giving us the opportunity at meetings, at the first meeting, we obviously planned 4 training sessions on the pitch. And obviously every player that turned up to the meeting was invited to their meetings. As I say, they put faith in us. So then we put faith in them and give everyone a fair opportunity. It also gave us the opportunity in the meantime, obviously, to put 7 days in for players that we know that can benefit to the squad. We identified that they had a very young squad, lots of quality, more quality in the squad than what we originally thought, to be fair. And a lot of them are just down confidence, to be fair. So we've installed that, and we're seeing some completely different players to maybe is what the fans have seen in the last 5 or 6 weeks. But obviously to get the experience of Paul Gardner, that's massive. As I say, when to get your foot on the ball, how to see your game out. Obviously we've brought in Reece Brown as well, who's obviously got a wand of a left foot. He managed to score a hat-trick against Bishop Auckland when he was playing at Brandon. And to be fair, the lad, he's deserved that opportunity to go to the next level also. And to be fair, in the past, he has knocked down good offers from clubs that are currently challenging at the top half of the first division. And then obviously Paul Lazenby, he's a great centre-half. As I say, he's an old-fashioned centre-half. He'll win it. He's very aggressive in the air, got lots of experience, and he's a Crook lad as well.
Yeah, just what you need, isn't it? I mean, mentioning Crook now, sitting 16th, it's quite a strange one when you look at any table at the minute, the Northern League, but like hovering obviously above the relegation, but a few wins and you're sitting in mid-table, isn't it? I mean, what's your early plans and aims, kind of looking at the league table and the games that's coming up?
Yeah, I mean, well, the first thing, obviously, me and Anne had to go in and say that there's obviously an issue here. Obviously, the main issue, as far as we're concerned, is you're not going to win a game of football conceding 2.5 goals a game. If they continue to do that, they will go down this season. There's no question about that at any level of football. So we've addressed that issue. Well, we've hoped we've addressed that issue. Obviously, the players that we've signed and the work that we've done. Foremost, obviously, Bishop Auckland. It's obviously we go there. We've got to be hard to beat. Any result that happens that day, it doesn't define the season because they're at a completely different stage to the season as what we are. The pressure is, however, on them because they're the team going for the title. But as I say, it's firstly been hard to beat. But there is enough quality in the squad to score goals on our behalf as well. So, as I say, in the short term, it's getting enough points on the board to make sure we're safe and secure in the league. And then after that, it's looking the medium term. It's looking forward to saying actually how high can we finish. As I say, you hit the nail on the head there. We've got games coming obviously thick and fast of teams in and around us. So after the Bishop game, we've got 3 or 4 games with teams below us and in and around us. So it's a great opportunity to get points on the board straight away, get safe. Obviously, if all goes to plan and push up the table, as I say, we're 3 wins from being mid-table, 3 wins from being up in the mid-table, which is where a club like Crook should be in the top 10. Should be challenging with the size of support and the facilities they have. So that's the aim, yeah.
Definitely. And you mentioned the likes of Bishop there, and I mean, you just look Bishop, Ashton, Whitley Bay, or who you've all got to play as well. And you must be excited to challenge yourselves against, obviously, the teams, the players that they've got, the budget and the managers that they have at the moment. It must be exciting stepping up from Division 2, Division 1 to play, and obviously the quality of stepping up as well.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's players that are playing in them teams that I've coached in the past up at various clubs, obviously at Taulo, the main club that I've been at. And it's great seeing the lads doing so well. As I say, you look at the top 5, there's so much. In fact, if you go below that as well, there's so much quality within the league. And yeah, it's great. We'll be setting up teams. Obviously, each team offers a different threat. And we want to be as competitive as we can. But they're all winnable games of football. It's 11v11. And you've got to be at it on your day or you get found out.
Yeah, it'd be nice as well to play in with the bigger crowds as well. I mean, you look at some Ashton games getting 1,000+ and Bishop Auckland and stuff like that. It's just nice to be involved in football games, especially at this level with the amount of fans that's turned up, isn't it?
No, I mean, for me, me personally, we've had this conversation before. It's the best level of football. I much prefer it. It's more atmosphere. I mean, I'm not a Newcastle fan. Obviously, Newcastle are flying at the moment, but I get more of a buzz to go and watch non-league zone and seeing lads putting 110% in for their local clubs as such, and seeing how passionate the local fans are. And it's, as I say, it's a shame when you look at the attendances of certain clubs. Obviously, one of me ex-clubs, Brandon, because they deserve more. But I don't know what the answer is to get people in. We've tried all sorts, winning games of football. I remember when I think they won the first division. I think it was about 10, 12 years ago. I think Kenny Lindo was in charge, and they were averaging 60 fans a game.
Yeah,
you know, that's nothing,
it?
is it, when you compare it to the likes of Ashingtons and your Bishops? And to be fair, Crook, they've averaged 298 at home games this season, which is absolutely outstanding. And that, to be honest, is having a bad season as well. So fingers crossed we can turn the corner quickly and get more people out of Crook to come and support us again.
Oh, definitely. Just one question I want to put in there as well. I mean, we mentioned about the football pyramid before, and obviously the step up. When I've mentioned a few times when we've had players on, and we look back over the years where they had the Northern League, and then kind of the next step after that was kind of Gateshead, and it was kind of a big jump from the league to that, where now you've got this pyramid. And I think now with yourself, like hungry managers, I know we had Bobby Moore on at Heaven, and he kind of said he's gone from the Northern League to that, and he'll get that next level, even if it's Heaven or not. He just wants to progress. And I'm sure it's now that for any managers, any players, they know that they're not going to just step from the Northern League up to the conference itself. It's a little pyramid as you go up. It's great for players and managers now, isn't it?
No, it certainly is. It's great. It obviously gives you your natural progressions, but I might be speaking out of term here, but I don't think the Northern League itself is as strong as it has been in the past. If you go back 5 or 6 years, because when you think you had the likes of Shield and you had Hebben, your Concerts, they move up, which is great. It's well deserved as clubs of them stature. But then they go and get the best players within that league, and then obviously the next ones come up through there. So it's a great opportunity that I'm looking forward to, as well as my coaching and my management team coming in. But as I say, we'll certainly hold our own within there, and we're looking forward to a good second half of the season with Crook.
Yeah, and we mentioned there the first game, obviously away on Saturday against Bishop Auckland. I mean, how's training been this week? And obviously leading up to the game, the squad itself excited to get against Bishop.
Yeah, to be fair, spirits are high in the camp. Obviously, we've had an injection of 5 players. They've all fit in great. To be fair, the lads that were currently there have already been very welcoming to them. One thing I'm big on is all decisions made are for the benefit of the group. And to be fair, the training, it's been at a high intensity, and it's been absolutely outstanding. I couldn't fault the lads. Their application and effort has been absolutely outstanding. So we're really looking really positively into Saturday's game. As I say, it's a free hit for us. It doesn't define the season. The pressure's on them, and the fact that they're obviously going for the league. And to be honest, they've lost 2 out of the last 5 as well. So it just shows that they are beatable. And plus, I nearly beat them with Brandon as well. So that's in the past, yeah. But yeah.
So like you say, we're going to get into the league.
Local derby as well. So anything can happen in a derby game.
Definitely. I mean, like you say, we're going to get into the league, and it's strange because obviously one team seems to get that chance to then push on, and it just, I don't know, it's the pressure that's getting them. They'll just go out and get beat. And I mean, my dark horse is still Whitley Bay, which we'll get onto in a few moments. But I mean, just mentioning, obviously, great club, Crook, like a proper Northern League side for me, cracking little stadium, fans turn up. But what would be your message now to the people of Crook that's thinking, you know what it is, I might just go down and give it another club another chance? What would be your message to the people of Crook?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they already get good attendances. As I say, I'm sure it's an average of 298 they've had at every home game this season. Obviously, there's local lads involved as well now. Fingers crossed we can turn the corner, and obviously everyone's welcome at all ages. It would be great to see you as almost the 12th man coming back.
Yeah.
I hear they like singing their songs. And they're coming their numbers home and away. And as I say, we certainly need that. A, to stay in the league, and B, to see how far up we can finish. But hopefully there's exciting times to come at Crook. There's no reason why not, and get the club back where it should be, a club of that standard, and certainly that size, and with the history it's got, yeah.
Yeah, it means a lot to so many people. So I know I had someone on Twitter follow us today who was on his state, was literally just a Crook Town fan, nothing against Newcastle, Middlesbrough, so it was just literally Crook till I die type of thing. And it's just amazing how clubs meeting so many people in the local area. It was just a young lad. And I think about what I think his picture was like. He was literally singing with the fans. It was just absolutely amazing how some people love the non-league football, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when it was announced I'm not on social media apart from Messenger, and I must have had about 20 random messages from people that obviously I'd never even heard of, just wishing us well. As I say, all the publicity that I've seen obviously was positive. I have heard obviously there was some negative stuff, as I say, regarding the timings and things like that. But hey ho, that's gone. As I say, it was a very quick turnaround. But no, everything's been really positive. As I say, and you are right. It's people's Saturdays, isn't it? It's something to look forward to. You work Monday to Friday. And yeah, it's Crook. I mean, it's great. It's a great facility, isn't it? You can go down, you can have a couple of pints, watch hopefully a good standard of football. There's food there, and it's with your pals. What more do you want?
No, it's brilliant. Even Niall, big up lads, Happy New Year. Thank you for watching, Niall. Happy New Year to yourself as well, and everyone that's been watching. Well, I hope you had a great Christmas, and wish you all the best for 2023 as well. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe as well. Just getting on the leagues itself now. I was just chatting there before the show, the first division, the second division. It's so close at the moment, but starting in Division 1, obviously Bishop Barton, Whitley Bay, Newton Aycliffe now in there, and obviously Ashton. What's your thoughts on the title race and who you're going for?
I mean, look at the clubs that you've just mentioned there. You look at some of the players that they've got there. I mean, they're absolutely outstanding. Personally, myself, I think Bishop Auckland will hang on to it over the season. However, Whitley Bay certainly will not be far off. But I'm not sitting on the fence here. I will say Bishop Auckland, but look at Newton Aycliffe. I mean, they play some fantastic football. I've watched them 3 or 4 times this year, and they've been absolutely breathtaking. With some really hurtful players, but no, I think over the season, I think Bishop Auckland.
Yeah, Craig just mentioned the Happy New Year, lads. All the best for 2023. Happy New Year, Craig. Division 2, even tighter in that one. I mean, it's amazing. Obviously, you've been a part of this season. What a season! Can anybody catch Borough Rangers, or do you think they have run away with the league now?
We've not actually played Borough Rangers. I haven't actually played Borough Rangers this year. They're the team that I haven't actually played. However, I have watched them a few times, and they just seem to find a way to win. The times I've watched them, I wouldn't say I've been overly impressed. They're like an old-fashioned Northern League team where they're hard to beat and they just take their moments. But credit to them, they've been winning games of football, and I just don't think anyone will catch them, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so, it's big gap opening up now, isn't it?
Borough Rangers for the league, yeah.
Definitely. But the second place, I mean, going from Berkeley sitting on 48 points down to 9th place, Wrecker Town on 38 points. It's a 10-point turnaround for any teams. You've got the likes of Berkeley, Benton, Horden, Billingham, Blythe, Prudder, Brandon, and Wrecker Town as well. I mean, who would you pick out them as the teams that's probably going into them playoffs now?
I think it's whoever's the most consistent, isn't it? Horden definitely. Yeah. I think Horden will get into the playoffs, and I personally think they will go up in second position. I think they'll win the playoffs. Johnny Payne's done an absolutely outstanding job there, and they're always come good second half of the season. Also, Bedlington, as I say, they were struggling last year like ourselves, and they've been flying. And obviously Berkeley have been outstanding this year. Berkeley will qualify in there also, but I do think Horden will have too much for them all.
Really some good players there, isn't it? Yeah. But it was like you say, looking at that one, I mean, I wish they could get some kind of live TV down, because if you've got them playoffs on some TV station, we might be able to do it here, you never know. But honestly, it's going to be absolutely fantastic come the end of the season. But it's always the same, where you mentioned them clubs there, but same as last season, there's always that one team where come from mid-table, out of nowhere, end up in the playoffs and they could win it. Just that momentum, isn't it?
Of course it is. I mean, you look at Redcar Town. Redcar Town arguably play the best football, the best brand of football, should I say, that we've certainly come against this season, as well as Newcastle Uni. They play a great brand of football. But as I say, Redcar Town, you look at the players that they've got as well. They've got some really, really good individual players there, and they play well as a team. So it's whoever's the most consistent. But I do think Horden, as I say, they find a way to win, the hard to beat. And I don't think you'll find a harder working team than Horden, to be fair. Once they get in front, they're very hard to break down.
Yeah. And just finishing off, going back to Crook now, you just mentioned obviously aims and hopes for the rest of the season, but obviously finishing mid-table, and then is it going away kind of building the summer, getting a full pre-season and building for next season going forward?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, it's been a very quick turnaround. It's a case of we're inheriting somebody else's team. is such somebody else's squad. Obviously, we've only had 3 weeks to add to that. These things do take time, and it's a process, isn't it? As I say, short term, it's survival, making sure we get enough points on the board, putting our ways of playing over, our methods over very fast. And then, as I say, once we get enough points on the board, it's seen how high we can finish up the league table. Then obviously come the end of the season, it gives us a chance to plan a full pre-season, get all the players that we want over the line, the way we want to play, in possession, out of possession, and have a good full pre-season. Looking forward to next season, hopefully getting Crook back into the top 10 challenging where there should be a club size of Crook. But obviously you have to appreciate we're going in inheriting somebody else's squad, and as I say, there's lads there that need to be given opportunities. The confidence levels were low, but we've had a good 4 sessions now. And as I say, the confidence in certain individuals that people maybe looked at and think, actually, he's a mile off, to be fair, with a bit of confidence. Just completely different players. So fingers crossed we can put a display on Saturday against Bishop and then build from there.
Like you say, I mean, you just mentioned confident in some players. I mean, you look at Newcastle United down and out, and some of them players that's been turned around, the likes of Joe Linton, gone from a striker that couldn't put the ball in the back net to one of the almost like a world-class centre midfielder. Sometimes it's unbelievable what just that bit of confidence can do. As well, Craig's mentioned Crook just signed Ben Garrity from Berkeley Town, haven't they? What's just your thoughts on that one?
I mean, it's a great signing, isn't it? No, he's a good lad. Ben, as I say, he can play in a number of positions. He's got real quality in possession, and he gets you up the pitch. As I say, he's almost as I say, he can play in a wide range of positions, but he's that old-fashioned winger who will get the ball and he'll take the ball to the byline. He'll take people on the outside shoulder and it just gets you higher on the pitch. And most of all, to be fair, he's the type of profile of player that we're looking for to get into the group. He's all for the team. So, no, an outstanding bit of business, that.
Really good. But no, I mean, from the show itself, Mattie, honestly, we wish you the best of luck at Crook. I know obviously you're so hungry to develop yourself as a coach, but also push any club on that you're involved in. So we wish you the best of luck from the North East Non-League show as well.
No, that's very kind. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, I just want to say, just before we go there, massive thank you to our sponsors. In the comments that we've had, I'm almost hitting double figures throughout the night, so I really appreciate everyone's support. Next up, Monday night, we have the review show going back over the last 5 Newcastle games, and then a lot of non-league stuff coming up. If you get across to my Facebook page, I just put a poster out there the last few days. It's absolutely jam-packed. I mean, we weren't even supposed to be starting our shows until mid-January, but we just had to get some shows in. Everyone craving to get back in there as well, so hopefully that will be good. Lots coming up. I think we've fully booked up now till about early February with guests that's coming on from the non-league scene, so we're really looking for some interviews that's coming on as well. Just final question there, Mattie. Craig just mentioned how long has he signed on for, please, for Ben?
What was that? Sorry, I missed that completely. Sorry.
Yeah, Craig's just asking there, how long has Ben signed on for?
How long has he signed on for?
Yeah, is it for the end of the season?
No, he signed his future until further notice, yeah. He'll be going nowhere until the end of the season, that's for sure. There's no clause in his contract or anything.
Brilliant. But no, there you go, Craig. Answers, there you go. That's what we want. Get the answer on the show. But no, Mattie, honestly, thank you so much. And everyone that's watching, I hope you enjoy the rest of your night as well.
Thank you.